Alright, you've harvested all your lemons off your tree. Now what do you do? Find out on the next Grow the Earth. Alright guys, well, we've got all these beautiful lemons that we harvested off our tree, and if you're following me on Facebook, then you know that I have over 100 of these guys that we harvested. Now we've given some away, and we've done various other things with our lemons, but here's something that we do to get the most out of our harvest, and it also preserves them and makes sure that we have at least lemon juice and even some whole lemons for later on for throughout the season. Now the first thing we do is if you use dishwashing soap or anything, then you've heard of lemon oil. Well, we're going to use this to take the lemon zest. So what we're going to do, we're just using a regular old fruit peeler, and actually, got to give credit to my little girls. They're the ones who came up with this. Is that you just set it up there and you kind of move it back and forth. And what you're doing is you're trying to get the lemon peel, but not the little white part underneath, because it's not good. It's usually bitter, doesn't taste very good. But this is what we want. We want this. And what we can do is we can lay that down on a cookie sheet with a little piece of parchment paper, and we can dry this out. Now you want to put this into your oven like 250 degrees, and basically you're just going to let it go until it gets dry and kind of crunchy, because if any of this is still wet and moist, it will mold. So we want to make sure it's dry. And then you crunch it up, and you can, once it's all crunched up, then you end up with something like this, this is actually lemon peel from last year that we have dried, and it's still good in a container. Use it for various things. If you're a cook, you know what to do with lemon peel. Sprinkle it on a little bit of fish. Works pretty well. But this is one way that we save our harvest through the whole year without actually having lemons throughout the whole year. Alright guys, now that we've got that all peeled off, what we're going to do is now we're going to get the juice out of the inside. So we're just going to simply cut it in half. And if you've got one of these guys or one of the little automatic ones, basically you just set it on top and work it back and forth. Get all your nice little lemon juices out of it. And the good things about these is it strains out a lot of your big chunks of pulp, and if you happen to get any of the pith in there, or if you happen to get any seeds in there, it'll strain them out, right? And then we just take the top off of here, and we're going to pour it into here and save it. You can also, if you have one of these guys, you'll have to cut these down a little bit further so that it'll fit. Open it up, put it in, and you just give it a little squeeze right over the top and get all your juice out. And now that we squeezed all this lemon juice out, what do we do now? Well, you got a couple of options. You can, and we picked these up at the local grocery store. They're ice cube trays with a little neoprene bottom to them, a little silicone bottom. And what you can do is you can take the lemon juice, put it in here, freeze it, and you don't have to leave it in here. You can push them out, put them in little, Ziploc bags or whatnot to save them. And then if you're a big drinker of lemon water, you just take one of these little ice cubes out, throw it in your lemon water, and your lemon, and you've got lemon water. Another thing that we do is we'll take this and we will put this in 1 cup quantities into like a quart bag and freeze it. And what that's for is, whenever we're ready to have some lemonade, you take that little 1 quart bag out, drop it, put your sugar in it, put your water in it, you've got fresh homemade lemonade. And this stuff will keep for quite a while in the freezer. So you don't have to worry about it going bad. You know, you can use it a few months from now. It'll be just fine. And even there's another option you can do. If you don't want to go through this whole big process, you can just take the whole lemons and freeze them. They'll keep fine for quite a few months in the freezer, whole. And so when you're ready, you don't even have to really let them thaw out so much. Cut them in half, juice them, make your fresh orange juice. Now, mind you, the lemons are not going to be good for if you're wanting to garnish anything with, or if you're wanting to put fresh lemons on something. They're not going to be fresh. They're going to be soft, and they're not going to be very visually appealing because they're not going to be hard and crisp or anything. But they will be good enough to juice. So, like I said, you know, right now, me and the family, this is a whole family affair. We're going through and we're juicing all these lemons we've got, and we're, you know, taking the peel off and going to dry that out. So, if you don't have that kind of, you know, that many people, it's just you, just freeze them. And then whenever you're ready, you can do what you need to do to get whatever it is you want. This is something we do because we want to get rid of them so they don't go bad. We've only got so much freezer space. You know, this limits the amount of freezer space. Alright guys, so this is probably just a quick video. You know, we had all these lemons that we got this year, and we wanted to show, you know, help somebody with the process of what we go through and what we do to help preserve our crop. You can only use lemons so much. So you've got to have a way to save and preserve them, and also a way to get the most out of what what you've spent all your time making. You know, if God is going to give us the blessing of all these lemons, then the least that we can do is to make sure that we're using it to its fullest potential. We're not wasting that blessing. You know, we've blessed other people with these, but there again, you know, a lot of people don't use a lot of lemon in their daily lives. So, you know, once you give somebody, you know, a half a dozen, they're pretty much full up. They're done. So we have to find a way to, you know, preserve this stuff to make sure we get full use out of God's blessing with it. And guys, another thing that, because of course this is a product of God, there's multiple uses for it. You take your lemon juice, put it in a little hot water, helps cure a sore throat. The lemon juice itself and the lemon oils have a lot of medicinal properties that can help you with various things. I'll leave you to research that on the internet because there's so many uses to list that I would be here for another hour trying to tell you how much you can use of this lemon and for what, medicinally for your body. So guys, we're going to end it off there. Just want to encourage you, continue to grow your garden. Don't get discouraged. If it's the first year that you're growing your garden, just continue to grow. We have killed more plants than you can count. We learn new stuff every year. I've learned stuff from being lazy. I've learned stuff from being over-exuberant about things. But it's always a learning experience. It's always something new that God's trying to teach us as we go through our garden. You know, at the very least, we're trying to emulate nature in a small space. And God does it way better than we do. So, guys, as always, pray over your family, pray over your garden, and have a great day.